Hi everyone, this is Max from Waking Up at 40 and today we're going to do my take on a mini cheesecake. It is one of those things that whenever you make it, people rave about it. It is so easy to make, anybody can do it, and it is so yummy that you would not want to share it, but it's one of those party favors that just disappear once you bring it out. So let's start. We're going to start with a crust. So what I've done in ahead is I just actually lined the little cupcake tin with cupcake liners, and then we're just quickly going to make the crust. It is a very easy crust. All you need is like about 100 grams of any biscuit. It can be a cracker, great, like a cream cracker. I happen to really like tennis biscuits. It's a coconutty kind of biscuit that I adore. So we're going to start by just adding the coconut biscuits. I've measured this out, this is 100 grams, into any food processor will do. And then I've got 100 grams of nuts that I've roasted. I'm doing a combination of pecans and almond nuts. So I'm just adding that in there, and then we're just quickly going to shred and combine that all together. Okay, so we're just going to pulse this all together quickly into a refined, sandy kind of texture. Alright, that should do the trick. Let me just show you the texture. The texture, you'll see it's like a grainy, sandy texture that we're going for. So once we've done that, we're going to add a quarter cup of cane sugar and a little bit of cinnamon just to give it a really nice extra flavor. You can decide how much. I'm probably going to do just over like a heaped quarter teaspoon. And we're just pulsing this together. And then lastly, we're going to add some melted butter. I've decided to go for a salty butter instead of an unsalted one, purely because this is already quite sweet and I like the salt of the butter to kind of contradict the sweet of the biscuit. So this is approximately 4 tablespoons. We hope this is enough. If not, we'll just melt a little bit more and add that into the food processor or Thermomix as well. We don't want it to be too wet because we'd like it to stick together. And we're just pulsing this together as well. Halfway through, I'm just going to scrape it down and then pulse it another few times. And that should be it. Okay, so as you can see, the texture is very similar to the dry one. It's now just got enough moisture from the butter to help it stick together inside the little containers. So I'm going to transfer this over into a bowl and then use a spoon to put a little bit into each of the cupcakes holes or liners. And then I'm going to use a shot glass to just push it down. This works nicely. It's the smallest thing I have with a flat bottom to help push it down to help form the crust. Yeah, so we're just going to take about a spoonful, a heaped spoonful, and add it to each of the linings. Yeah, so there's all of those. Then I'm just taking a little shot glass and I'm just pushing them down. Okay, so we're all done. You can decide how OCD you want to be about this, whether you want them all to be exactly the same, whether you want to just take some of the crumbs down and add that in there. This is completely up to you. I'm going to transfer this over to the oven. I've preheated the oven to 160 degrees, which I think is 350 Fahrenheit. So I'm going to pop that in there for between 5 to 8 minutes. It's just quick to help set this all together and keep it together. You remove it when you see it's already a golden color, so that's not going to help you, but you will start smelling the very nice aroma of the biscuits and the butter, and then you can remove it from the oven. Okay, so for the filling, we're going to need a cream cheese, 450 grams. We are going to need some vanilla extract, mine's almost done. We're going to need 1 cup of sugar, a little bit of salt, some sour cream, 2 large eggs, and the yolks of another 2. So let's get started. So firstly, I'm going to just cream the cheese a little bit. So I'm adding my butterfly attachment into the Thermomix. And I'm just going to add this in here and the cream until it's a much more creamy consistency. Down the bowl. And then I'm going to let it go a little bit more. Okay, so once you get a very nice cream consistency, you can add the sugar, which is a cup of sugar. You can add and a little bit of salt. Like I'm going to do a pinch of salt. I don't want it to be too salty. I just want to neutralize the very, very sweetness of it. Okay, once again, we're just scraping down the bowl. Next, we're going to add the sour cream. It's a 1/3 cup of sour cream. And some vanilla extract, which is about a teaspoon. I think this is going to be the last of my homemade vanilla extract. And put this nicely together. And then lastly, we're going to add the eggs. So I'm using a separate little bowl to just make sure that none of the eggs are off. I'm going to add 1. And also to ensure that I don't get any eggshells in there. And then we need 2 egg yolks. So it's all done. So I'm just removing the butterfly attachment, and then we're just going to dish them up with a spoon into each little one of the containers, filling them up about 3/4 of the way, and then we're going to pop them in the oven. So yes, let's just fill up each one. Oh, that's maybe a bit much. So I'm just making sure that they all kind of equal. I have overfilled 2 of them, which is not just what it is. But for the rest, we want them to all be kind of the same. Okay, so they're all filled. I'm going to put them in the oven now for between 18 to 20 minutes, after which I'll switch the oven off, but leave it for another 20 minutes. And then we'll cool them, chill them, and then we'll decorate, which is part of the fun. Okay, so the cheesecakes are all done. We took them out of the oven a while ago. We put them in the fridge to just help to chill them and cool them down. And all that's left is a fun part to decorate. So here's just a few ideas of what you can decorate with. Lots of recipes and people like to put whipped cream on it. I personally like the taste of a cheesecake on its own with maybe a bit of a fruity topping. So yes, I'm going to start and decorate with some of the berry reduction that I've done, and then maybe just add a little bit of fruit on there. And maybe like a gooseberry. and then you can just play around with however you want to. I'll leave some photos afterwards so you can see what we've done with them. Enjoy them, and if you like anything of this, please feel free to subscribe. It's a new channel. I need every subscription, people. Come on. Thanks. Bye.